All right. So today we have a spread of Rampant Green. I'm going through the two moderate complexity spirits of this expansion, or not the expansion of the base game here. Following the base game, we're going to have these two moderate complexity spirits, then the promo pack, and then Jagged Earth. And these two are Branching Claw, Keeper, and Sharp Fangs. So, kind of making our way through the list here. And today we have the most broken spirit of the game, a spread of Rampant Green. Now, some things that are important to note about a spread of Rampant Green is he's all right by himself. He can totally handle his own board. He's good. But he is one of the most incredible enablers of spirits, like, of all time, because of this power card right here, Gift of Proliferation. Target spirit adds one presence up to one range away from their presence. What that does is spirits like Vital Strength of the Earth can get to 4 card plays in 8 energy, no problem. Or Shadows Flicker like Flame. You don't get trapped at the 3 energy 3 card play mark, having to constantly reclaim. Or and then this kind of goes into other spirits. For example, Finder we'll go into later. This is the last spirit we're going to go over. But you see each one of those presence markers uncovers something incredibly helpful for the spirit, right? And or even just Downpour, right? Downpour, each water is so incredibly helpful to its growth and progression. And again, we'll cover Downpour in another video. But having access to that water, or having access to these additional card plays, card play 2 and 2, 3, just like break the spirits. In particular, I played England level 6 with my Big Spirit Island friend, and he played Lure, and I played Spread, and he got to 5 energy and 5 card plays by like early mid game, and as a result, his growth option. I mean, you pick one of the first and one of the second. He would always reclaim cards because he didn't have to put out a presence. So essentially, he got 6 energy per turn, and could gain and had all the elements he could possibly ever want because he was playing all his cards. He could gain additional energy, or he could gain power cards and get more major powers. It's just this card is the strongest by far card that any starting spirit has. Maybe the strongest card in the entire game. So, but note, target another spirit. So on its own, a spread of Rampant Green doesn't have a hard time getting presence out on its own. Some spirits don't have a hard time getting presence out on their own, and he is definitely one of those spirits. But so this card played on himself in a solo game when you can target yourself is kind of like, it's all right. But yeah, and note, even interestingly enough, he can add a presence at range 1 away to himself, but it costs 2 energy for himself to do it on himself, right? Only 1 energy cost to do this. Incredible, incredible card. Anyway, so he starts 1 in the highest numbered wetland and 1 presence in the jungle without Dahan. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this explore wetlands. And this is probably everything I could ever want in this exploration. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and gain a presence to a jungle or wetland, and I'll go ahead and gain a presence here. And then I'm going to choose to add a presence and get +1 card play, and I'm going to add this presence here, and I'm going to go to this mountain, get +1 card play. You can see, I mean, he's already got enough presence. He gets presence out on his own. So And I didn't even talk about his special rules, just this one card and how good it is. And so maybe I'll cover that really quickly once I decide what I want to play. This is always my opening play with a spread of Rampant Green, is this play right here. Because you just immediately boost another spirit, and it's very easy to do. But I'm wondering if I should instead... No, I'll just boost myself. Yep, and I get an energy and I pay. And we are ready to go. So right now I'm going to go ahead and give myself this. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't super matter. So I'll go another presence here. Just have a sacred site on that land, and I'll show you, and now we can talk a little bit about his cards. So this is the fastest done. Almost had to defend too. So let's just look at his spirit. When they ravage your build, the invaders, into a land with your sacred site, you prevent it by destroying one of your presence in that land. So, alright. I mean, destroyed presence is kind of a steep cost, right? But also, look at his steady regeneration. When adding presence to the board via growth, you may optionally use destroyed presence. If the island is healthy, do so freely. If the island is blighted, doing so costs 1 energy per destroyed presence you add. So, essentially, that makes that top thing very, very, very good. If you have a sacred site, invaders can't do anything there. You're the ultimate stall, which is amazing. When you're buffing up another spirit, you're just stalling out, and then they get super, super strong because you're helping them incredibly by completely breaking their growth curve, and then suddenly they come in and wipe out your board and you win, right? So it's a little bit different when he's playing on his own, because he doesn't have that thing to look forward to of, oh, I'm going to wait for that person to come and completely blow up my board. So let's go ahead and go into the slow phase. They're going to build a town and a city, and then they're going to explore the jungles. What a beautiful, beautiful everything. And then they're done with that, and then I'm going to go ahead and push a town, and I'll push this town out right here. Let's do a problem land right here. I love the problem lands that are the wetlands, because they're easy to stall. But I actually think I might push this right here, and my reasoning why is because of this card right here. I'm going to have to deal damage to my own lands. So if target land is mountain or sands, instead 1 damage to each building. Being able to do 1 damage to each building, I'm already going to have to stall this out. This is already problem land, but now I can at least do 1 damage to each building. So that is that push, and then that's that. So let's time pass. So now, something that I'll do a lot of the times when I'm playing Spread of Rampant Green is you want this power card right here, or one of these two, I guess. And so what I'll do a lot of the times is I'll actually reclaim and gain a power card, because that energy I don't really need early game. I mean, it's helpful, but it's not necessary. And I'll just replay Gift of Proliferation. But since I'm playing a solo game, I don't really need the extra presence. And I mean, that double boost to someone else is incredible. But again, I'm playing by myself. So I'm going to go ahead and gain a power card and +3 energy. So 1, 2, 3, and of course I always get to put out a presence to a jungle or wetland. So I'm going to put out a presence right here, and then no, it's too late. I'm thinking about strats. I could have prevented this build and then just prevented the ravage, and then they wouldn't have a city here, but it is what it is. So I do that, and then I take this growth option, which gives me 3 energy and a power card. So let's gain a miner to start. Defense and sacred site. And a beast. It's not nearly enough, actually, to defend this. Otherwise, I'd actually consider that just to stall that turn. Pushing a town in fast and fear. I do need fear. And then Rain of Blood. Adding Badlands. Okay, so here's another thing about Spread of Rampant Green. I talked about its special abilities, but I didn't talk about its innate powers. And Badlands is a great jumping off point to talk about his innate powers. So look at his power card. 1 damage to 1 building. This is repeat this power. Okay, so it's 1 damage to 1 building. This is repeat this power again. Okay, so essentially 3 damage to the building. Now, however, let's say you have a Badlands there. 1 damage to buildings becomes 2 damage to a building. Oh, okay, I repeat this power. Now it becomes 1 damage to buildings plus 1 damage because you're repeating it. So it's 4 damage per building. Now repeat it again, 6 damage. So having a Badlands actually exponentially helps with his damage to building. Because normally this maxes out at a city at how much it can kill. This changes the ball game totally. Totally changes the game. So I think I might take this just because so you can see how the Badlands works. So I've got my energy from that, and then I get an energy from here, and then I get 2 card plays. I'm going to go ahead and play. Do I do this? I think I do this. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I almost wonder if I should just do the fear. Presence with invaders is 3 fear. Or just add another presence. Where are they going? These jungles. I might prevent the build actually. It's not too hard for me to jump here, destroy my presence, prevent the build, so I'll do that. This is a problem, but I'll defend it with my innate next turn. I'll have water leaf plus another leaf, so I can defend it. Yeah, okay. So let's go and draw an event card. Healthy land. In the land with the most buildings, or sorry, towns, replace 2 towns with 2 cities. And I'm going to choose this land. This is now a city. And then on each board, push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from land with beast. Doesn't do anything when invaders ravage. If there's Dahan, defend 2. Okay, so this has defend 2. Doesn't matter. And now ravage in the wetlands. This guy goes, and I'm going to destroy this presence right here. And then I'm going to build in the jungles, destroy that presence to prevent that build. And then they're going to add a town out here. And then they're going to explore in the mountains. Okay, that's totally fine. Totally fine. So now slows, and I'm going to add a Badlands. You guessed it, right here. Because I'm going to let this be my problem land. Or should I do it here? Let's see. Did I hit a threshold? I did. Moon. So I can do 2 damage to buildings, which becomes, or sorry, 1 damage to buildings, which becomes 2 damage. So I could pop this town in slow. No, I'm going to start working on this over here. Just start working on that over there. Or the fear. The fear is good, though. Is there any other effect? No, it's an or effect. I'm going to put it over here. I kind of wish this disease wasn't here, because I want them to build so I can do a ton of damage, but it is what it is. Okay. So now this slow power here is 1 damage to buildings. It's not going to matter, so I'm just going to ignore it. Now time passes. Okay. So this I need to defend, and then the mountains I should consider doing stuff about. So I always get to put out a presence to a jungle or wetlands. So I'm going to do that. I guess I'll come here. Oh no, I need a sacred site to defend here. And then one away from a sacred site is my defense. And then I'm going to gain a power card and 3 energy. So 1, 2, 3 plus a minor power. And let's see. Two damage, push an explorer. I think I'll take this. I need to start doing damage. I don't really want the explorer push, but it is what it is. So, and it's got the leaf. So I'm going to play this. I don't get any of my damage, but that's okay. Go ahead and pay and flip. And we have my fast of defending 2 here. So defend 2, and let's see what happens here. Events, still healthy. Add a blight to a land with buildings. You can prevent this by discarding X energy purported to protect, where X is the number of cards in the invader discards. So there's only 1, and I will, yeah, I'll pay 1 energy to prevent that. Okay, great. In each land with a Han, 1 damage to each invader and 1 damage to each Han, or sorry, in each land with disease, and then remove this disease from each land where it destroys any buildings. So actually, wait, is it 1 damage to each invader? Oh my word. Because the Badlands, I get an additional damage. Yeah, it doesn't destroy it, so the disease stays. Yeah. Okay, each spirit may add a Han to one of its lands with the Han. I really like that event. If I have a land with the Han, which I do. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay. No fear cards. Ravage in the jungle. So they do pop off right there. It's 1 fear. This Dahan is damaged. And then build in the mountains. They skip builds with this disease and they add a town out here. Not ideal, but it is what it is. And then explore in the jungles, which I am totally fine with. Okay. So now we go to slows. 1 away from a sacred site, 1 damage to each building. And that does 1 damage to the city, and then 1 damage to this city, and then the Badlands allows another damage to that city. So both these cities die, and that's 4 fear. Incredible. Man, that Badlands is so good. I didn't even need that bottom power. Okay. And then I guess 2 damage and push and explore. 1 away from a sacred site, which is pretty much anywhere. I guess I'll do 2 damage there. So that's another fear. And then push this explorer here. Stack them up. Stack them in. One thing about my guy is he doesn't handle explorers very well. Spread a Rampant Green. This does deal with explorers if I want to. Couldn't have done it here though because it's a blighted land. So, but that's a great opportunity to just do that. Does it say push up to? No, it just says push 1. So otherwise I just leave him, let him ravage. But okay, so that's that, and time passes. So here we are. Look at the board state. Pretty good. They're about to build in the jungle, so this is a semi-problem. But remember, I easily get to the jungles, so I'm going to grow by adding a presence to a jungle or wetland, and I'll go ahead and add this presence right here. Yeah, I'll just defend this one like I did last time, and I'll keep this guy from ravaging. And so I guess I'll add a Badlands. And then maybe do this. I need a moon. Oh, sorry. I need a reclaim. Sorry, reclaim. Before I play, I'm taking this option and a reclaim and gain 1 power card. And then I get 2 energy. Should I get a major power? Get a major power. Okay. That's fine. What do I forget? I think I rouse the trees and stones. Actually, Gift of Proliferation. That is so funny that I'm considering forgetting this because it is the best card, but it's not really going to help me very much. So I'm going to just forget it. Kind of funny, but Pent-Up Calamity is just so good. Such a good card for this particular... Well, it's always a good card. So I'm going to go ahead and play Pent-Up Calamity, and I get 2 other card plays. Let's add a Badlands somewhere. And then what else do we want to do? What else do we want to do? Do we do this? Push a town? We'll see. Okay, 3, 2, 1, pay. The only fast power is Pent-Up Calamity, so I'm actually going to add a disease and a strife to this land. You better bet what's going to happen here soon. And then, yep, that's that. And then I guess I have a defend, but they're ravaging the mountains. I might as well just defend this land for 2, just in case an event does something, right? Okay, ravage the mountain, or sorry, event. We are in Terra level 1. Are there 9 or more buildings? No. Are there 3 or fewer buildings? Yes. Build cards cause an extra build in the highest number of matching land. Okay, so they're going to build twice in land number 8. Actually, that's problematic. That is problematic. When invaders ravage, if there's Dahan presence, defend 5. Okay, that doesn't matter at all. Please let me remove this explorer. Each player adds a strife to a land with beast, disease, or Dahan. And I'll go ahead and just add a strife here, because there's disease there. It's the only land I can strife. I'm about to remove it anyway. Okay, ravage the mountains, build in the jungles, build, and then build here, and then explore in the mountains. Oh my goodness, they love the mountains. They love them. So, let's think about this a little bit. We've got some slows. I'm about to just wreck this land. I guess I'll add a Badlands right here. Right? Yeah. And then push 1 town or push 3 Dahan. I wonder if I just push these Dahan over here and then I defend this land instead. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Okay. So that's that slow. And then slow at a range 0. Okay, how many? I had 1 moon and 2 leaf. I can do 1 damage to buildings. Once again, not helpful. If I just had a Badlands, I mean, I could put it here, but I'm about to play Pent-Up Calamity here in a moment once I get there. So, okay, time passes. So, I am going to add a presence to a jungle or wetland right here. And then I'm going to if I gain a power card, I won't be able to add this presence. So I'll add that presence. Okay, I'll add that presence, and then I'll gain a major power. Yeah, this just helps with the win condition. And then I get 1, 2 energy from here, and then 1, 2, 3 energy from there, and then I get 4 power card plays, and I'm going to go ahead and forget Searing Anger, forget. Do I have the energy to play all these? No! It's 1 away. I guess I'll forget this one instead. No, I want it. And yeah, this will add a presence in fast. Okay, so I'll just not play this. So I guess I didn't need to add that presence. I'll just keep it like that. Doesn't really make a difference. Okay, pay, flip. I don't like doing that. Okay. And now we have our fast, add a presence to a range 1. I'll go ahead and add my presence right here so I can prevent them from ravaging that land. And I've got water, leaf, leaf, leaf. Oh, it's only a defend 2. I needed 2 waters. Did this have another water? Okay, here's to hoping that something bad doesn't happen. I'll defend 2 here. I don't have a fear card. Okay, that's fine. I'll just hope I might just blight. It is what it is, though. Okay. Dahan are uncertain whether to teach the invaders farm life. Two damage to Dahan and land with buildings in Dahan. I don't know how I feel about teaching the invaders, but it does save the land. On each board, add a town to a land with Dahan. The next normal ravage then becomes a build. Yeah, it'll prevent a double blight, so I suppose. Let's go ahead and add a town up here. And then the next normal ravage becomes a build. And then on half the boards, add a disease to a land with Dahan and invaders. 2 damage to Dahan there. I'm actually going to add a disease up here so I can eventually pent up Calamity. Is Dahan there? Okay. So they now ravage in the jungles, but this becomes a build. So they actually add a city here. We got to stack, consolidate. They add a city here. Or do I prevent that? I'm going to prevent this city. And then, do I prevent this city? Yeah, I'll prevent that city. I put a presence out there specifically to stop it. So, we'll just prevent some cities coming out, and then they build in the mountains. So, and I'm actually going to prevent this build as well. And can't do anything about this, so they just get a town. So you can see I prevented 1, 2, 3 builds for very low cost for me because I get out presence so easily. Okay, and then they build in the mountains, and then they, oh sorry, they explore the wetlands. So explore. Okay. Now we do Twisted Flowers Murmur Ultimatums, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 fear. Add a strife. I guess I'll strife I'm going to strife a town because I'm about to remove a city. If terror level is 2 or higher. Oh no, it's not 2 or higher. So I strife the city, I guess. I didn't have 3 moon, 2 wind, and 3 leaf. So that was not as good. That was basically 5 energy for 4 fear and a strife. That's pretty weak. Now I get, so I have 2 moon and 3 leaf. So I have 2 damage to each invader. Or sorry, 2 damage to one invader plus 1 damage from here to buildings. So I guess I could pop both these towns, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hold up. This becomes 4 damage to buildings. And this becomes 2 damage to buildings. So I have a total of 6 damage to buildings with Badlands. So I'll strife one of the towns. And then I'll get rid of... Nope. So it's 1, 2, 3 fear. I did drop a town by accident and it had a strife on it. And that's Twisted Flowers and Stem the Flow of Water. That one's already paid for, so, and that's my innate as well, so time passes. Okay, so now I need to reclaim. So let's go ahead and add a presence. Let's do this, and I'm reclaiming, so I'm not going to get very much energy. So I get 1, 2, 3 energy, and I get a power card, and I'm adding this to a jungle or wetlands. I guess I'll add it right here. Well, I guess I'll add it right here. I don't know. They're about to ravage in the mountains, so that needs to be defended if possible. For how much? 3 would be fine. Okay, so let's gain a minor power. I'm looking for a 0 cost with water. Don't love that. This is fear. I'll grab this for Beast isn't doing it. It's nowhere. That's fear. 0 cost fear. Okay. So then I am going to... I got my 3 energy, so I'm going to play this, and I got to play 0 cost cards. So 0 cost, and then maybe 0 cost. Get some fear going. Oh, I would like to get that threshold, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. 3, 2, 1, pay, and here we go. So I'm going to now remove 1, 2, 3 tokens. So that's a total of 9 damage and 3 fear. So 1, 2, 3 fear and 9 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 overkill with an additional 1, 2, 3 fear for destroying buildings. Pent Up Calamity. Now you can see why it's a good card. This now does sands or wetlands, 2 fear if invaders are present, and isolate. I'm going to isolate this land. Oh no, I'll isolate this land. So that way I get 2 fear. 2 fear. Yep. And then, well, I could have isolated this land, but still gotten the 2 fear, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's that. That's a slow, and then I guess I have a defend 2. So this is defended for 2, right? I've got the water. I've got 2 water and 4. This is defended for 4. Okay, so now we got an event. Let's check it out. Terra level 2 now. If Dahan outnumbers buildings, replace a building with a Dahan. Oh, but I have to outnumber buildings by 2 or more. And then if buildings outnumber Dahan by 2 or more. So that doesn't happen. On each board in the land with the most combined invaders plus Dahan, add 1 disease, 2 damage to Dahan. Man, we're just killing these Dahan. The most combined invaders Dahan. I think it's this right here. Add a disease, 2 damage to Dahan, right? Minimum of 1 each. I don't love that. On each spirit with 2 Dahan among its lands gains 1 energy. Okay, I gain an energy, so I guess that's alright. Not getting a ton of luck with that event here, but I do have, oh my goodness, 4 fear cards? Terra level 2? Alright, we might just win here. Each player removes an explorer or town from a land with beast or an explorer adjacent to beast. Okay. So we prevent that. Defend 2 in all lands. That's now defended 6. Each player adds 2 strife to a single land not matching a ravage card. Okay, so are they ravaging the mountains? Strife. Strife. Okay. Each town destroys an explorer. So this town destroys this explorer. This town destroys this. Okay. Okay. And cities destroy 2 explorers. Okay. That's nice. Very nice. Now, ravage in the mountains. 1 fear for that town going out. Build in the wetlands. Explore in the sands. Alright, I knew it. I wanted to isolate this land to prevent that explorer, but I wanted the fear more, so that is what it is. Okay. Now, push a town or push 3 to Han. Honestly, I kind of like the towns where they are. Let's see. I did get 2 moon into that, so I get to do 2 damage to buildings. I'm going to do 2 damage to buildings here. That's a fear. And then push 1 Dahan. No, I'm going to leave it there. I can push Dahan to it. There you go. I'm kind of bummed that I lost so many Dahan. I'm going to not get a great score because of that, but it is what it is. So now we do that, and now for my last turn, because this is going to be my last turn, I'm going to grow here because of my always growth. I'm going to reclaim and gain a power card. It doesn't matter what I get. Fine. And then I'm going to play Pent Up Calamity, and I get 1, 2, 3 energy from here. And then I can play 0 cost, pay. And the reason why I'm kind of rushing through this is because I mean, the game's over. I play Pent Up Calamity, which is a fast card here. I remove the Strife. It does 3 damage and a fear. And we win. So you can see spread pretty good on its own, can totally handle its own board, totally has plenty of options to do stuff. I mean, it was doing some, I picked up Pent Up Calamity, which made for some interesting adding tokens to the board. I mean, I just love this card. Pent Up Calamity, I think, is one of my favorite cards. All those elements too, like, who doesn't want Pent Up Calamity in their hand? Nobody. Everybody wants that. And then, I mean, this Twisted Flowers, Memorial Ultimatums, I was not happy about. It was just kind of an expensive fear card. But, yeah, Rouse Trees and Stones is decent. But mostly, I mean, its own power cards, you can see dealing damage to buildings, and then its innate power, Creepers, Tear into Mortar, does do damage. And I think I did, yeah, up here I did like 4 damage because I hit the second threshold of that, because I did it +1 and then I did it +1 again because I'm repeating the power entirely, which is that's the difference. Because reading the word is important. Reading the words is important in Spirit Island, because you can easily just skim over this and think, oh, 1 damage, +1 damage, +1 damage. Okay, so it's 3 damage. But the fact that it's repeating the power does trigger the Badlands effect, from what I understand. So that, and it's all because it was phrased that way. So anyway, good game altogether. Gotta love Spread of Rampant Green. Super, super strong spirit on its own. I was not aggressively pumping out presence, and look at his presence track. It's all gone. He got through all of it. And I was not aggressively pumping out presence. I played Gifted Proliferation on myself, I think, once, and I played Overgrown Night once. And I honestly considered doing it for the fear, but I wanted to prevent some ravage up here. Anyway, really great spirit, totally top tier. And yeah, next game is going to be Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. Super excited about Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. Very strong spirit. This is, if you want to rush the fear, Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, they rush the fear. Totally terrifying, but also totally awesome spirit. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time on A Token of Persuasion. So yeah.